Okay, let's unpack this. Today we're diving deep into Porphyra Hybrid. That's from Ocean Swift Synthesis.
Right, an instrument that, well, it really promises a kind of shortcut to incredible sound.
Exactly. And our mission here for this deep dive is to really understand its unique design. How it might actually supercharge your creative process.
Yeah, because often with instruments you get this trade-off, don't you? Deep sound design, but it's complicated, or it's easy to play but maybe a bit limited.
That's the core insight here, I think.
Yeah.
Porphyra Hybrid seems aimed at solving that. Give you complex control and fluid expression all in one place.
That's the shortcut, yeah. And the team behind it, Ocean Swift Synthesis, that's key to understanding why it works this way.
Okay, tell us about them.
So it's led by two co-founders. First, there's Yaron Eshkar, maybe known to some as the electronic artist Foxy Nadu.
Okay.
But crucially, he was also a product manager and engineer back at Native Instruments. He worked on huge projects there. Think Kontakt itself, the Control MK3 keyboards.
Wow, okay. That's significant. So for you, the listener, what does that actually mean? Having a former NI engineer design a Kontakt instrument. Is it really different?
Oh, absolutely. It's fundamental. I mean, lots of us use Kontakt, right? But Porphyra Hybrid isn't just sort of sitting on top of Kontakt.
Right.
Because Yaron helped build the platform, he knows its deepest capabilities. He can leverage features, optimize performance in ways third-party developers often can't.
It's like having the architect design the furniture specifically for the building they created.
Precisely. That's a great analogy. It ensures this really tight integration.
And the other co-founder, you mentioned too.
Yes, Fernando Abreu. He brings this visionary artistic side, the UI, the sound aesthetics, the graphics.
Yeah.
It all feels very cohesive.
So it's not just raw technical power, it's also about making it usable, intuitive even.
Exactly. Which ties into their whole philosophy at Ocean Swift Synthesis. They're not just churning out plugins.
What's the driving idea then?
It seems to be about creating tools that are innovative, yes, but also versatile and, importantly, intuitive, making complex sound design genuinely accessible.
So you can focus on the music itself?
That's the goal. Porphyra Hybrid really feels like the culmination of that. It blends their wavetable work, unique samples, and Yaron's deep Kontakt knowledge, using all the cutting-edge engine features.
Okay, that sounds like a potent mix. Building on that, what actually makes this instrument, tick? What are the core bits making it feel so complete?
Well, let's start with the engines. They talk about asymmetric dual engines.
That sounds technical. What does that mean in practice?
It means it's not just two identical things layered. You've got this morphing, wavetable engine, think evolving digital complex textures.
Okay.
And that's fused with a really characterful sampler engine. This brings in more organic, maybe real-world sounds, warmth, nuance.
So they work together dynamically, not just side by side.
Right. Within its polyphonic synthesis chain, they blend. It allows for sounds that can feel, futuristic and deeply human at the same time. It properly bridges those two worlds.
That's fascinating. How does that integration translate into actually playing it? You mentioned expressiveness earlier, things like polyphonic aftertouch.
Yeah, exactly. That feature is a huge part of bridging that gap to real playability. Polyphonic aftertouch lets you modulate parameters differently for each specific note you're holding down, even after you've initially pressed the keys.
Wow, that's detailed control.
It is. Unprecedented expressive potential, really.
Yeah.
And you can feel the influence of Yaron's hardware background there, where that kind of tactile control is just expected.
It makes sense.
And then you've got other modulation options, like this thing called LFOX, which introduces randomness. It helps create textures that constantly evolve and surprise you, keeps things feeling alive.
Sounds incredibly useful for adding movement and life.
Okay, so beyond the engines and modulation, what about shaping the sound itself? Filters, effects. Oh yeah, it's packed. They call it a museum of polyphonic filters.
This museum.
Meaning a really diverse, extensive collection of filter types. And crucially, they're polyphonic applied per note, not just globally, so each voice can have its own filter movement.
That's powerful. And effects.
Studio-grade stuff. Built right in, including some Native Instruments favorites, actually, like Replica for delays, Raum for reverb.
Ah, familiar names. So you don't necessarily need to reach for other plugins immediately?
Often, no. The idea is it provides a complete end-to-end sound design workflow right there in the single interface, from synthesis to final polish.
So let's bring it all together. What does this really mean for you, the listener?
Well, Porphyra Hybrid isn't just, a list of features. It's a mature, complete environment. It seamlessly merges that deep wavetable stuff with rich sampling.
Right. It bridges that gap we talked about, expressive playability, like with the polyphonic aftertouch that nods to hardware.
And really powerful internal sound processing thanks to those filters and that curated effects suite.
We've touched on its polyphonic synthesis chain, the separate monophonic effects chain, those asymmetric engines, the filter museum, dynamic modulation like LFOX.
It covers a lot of ground.
So the final thought perhaps is this. How might an instrument offering such a complete end-to-end sound design experience all within one interface? How might that change the way you approach your creative process? What new sonic possibilities could it unlock for you?